You can dream. You can dream. And then my new thing is I'm working on this thing called membership packages, which it's going to be an interesting flux, but I think that once I figure it out, to sell a membership plan so people pay monthly and then they can do unlimited tech support.
Ah, neat.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now. That's kind of like my big one because I'm like, wow, once that's in place, it's real.
And what do members get, like a gold pin and a T-shirt and everything?
They get a Call That Girl T-shirt. Yep.
And a special card with like a magnetic strip on it.
Well, you know what they're gonna get is they're gonna start. I think that what they're gonna do is call a lot in the beginning because that's free, you know,
yeah.
or they're paying, and then they cool down because how many things can you break and fix, you know?
Right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know how that goes. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well, a few of the things that we've done is I've built a lot of good partnerships with other companies to help refer us work. I set up an affiliation plan for people to sell Call That Girl and earn commission, which is really, really nice. It's slow, but it's happening, and I think people like it.
Good.
And that's kind of it, I think, on the risks and everything.
Very good. Awesome. Now, we have some emails. If you want me to read some of them right now,
Sure.
we can do. And by the way, I am rooting for Linux. Anybody who's listening, I am rooting for Linux. I was just thinking about it today. not mainly for what?
So keep trying.
I don't know. I think it'll come around. I think it'll actually come around. I think it will become a reality. I just don't know when.
Don't give up the fight, man.
All right. Let's read some emails. We got from Rick email that says, "Hey, Steves. Just wanted to say thanks for making such a great niche podcast." I'm not sure what show he's talking about here, so I think I'm just reading it on all of them. He says, "I'm a service tech with my own business in the fitness repair field. You would be amazed how much your podcast translates to techs in other fields. I'm an occasional listener, mainly interested in when you have interviews discussing business strategy and organization, like this show. The fitness industry is getting more and more into tech. I work on a very high-tech brand which already has low-powered a very high-tech brand which already has low-powered PCs basically in the displays running on Linux. Partly due to your podcast, I have been avoiding some of the expensive parts from the OEM, such as LCD screens and inverters, and getting them straight from China at 1/4 of the cost. I just bought 2 inverters at $25 each, which the fitness manufacturer either would have charged me $100 or tell me it's no longer available and to replace the whole console or board at $1,000 or more. Great podcast. Keep those business discussions going." That's why I marked this one for Podnutz Daily, because that's the show that fit the most, and we aptly read it on this show where we're talking a lot about business. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
Next one is from Larry. He says, HP won't start. HP Pavilion Entertainment won't start. Light come on and out in one fell swoop. That's not a lot of data. I think I sent him back saying, "Can you give me more information?"
Give me more.
And I told him to post it in the forums. But if he's saying a Pavilion Entertainment won't start, Light come on. Okay, I think if it's a DV6000 HP laptop, it's probably the reballing or the reflow job that you need. Probably safer going with reballing. And that's probably what he's talking about. But he's probably posted it in the forums by now, so good luck with that, Larry. But if it is an HP DV6000, 9000, and I don't know if the 4000s did it, the graphics chip is probably coming loose from the board and you need to do a reflow on it. All right, last one is from Jeff. And he says, this is from Black Hammer, Jeff Owens, who his son is Ellis, does a podcast called Droid Nation. You check it out.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In 2010, my son, who is Ellis, he kept telling me about the 3 Steves and how I needed to listen to them. He would go on and on about Steve C, Steve D, and Dor. After that, I listened and started listening to all the podcasts. Now I'm finding myself teaching others about the things I have learned. I have a coworker with a Droid Bionic. So what do? I tell him he needs to listen to Android App Addicts. After about 4 times telling him, he is doing that. I have a coworker who asked me about the Linux fests I've gone to. This led to a long conversation on why I'm using Linux and the advantages I have with my Linux Mint netbook. Now he is my Linux student, and he has 2 distros on his laptop and many questions every week. In the words of Knucklehead Tech, you really understand something after you break it and need to fix it. I'm after him to listen to Linux for the rest of us. I've also introduced him to the forums where he's trying to read every post. My assistant at work quit, and I have hired a young man with an IT education and no experience. I will be mentoring him in many areas of PC repair and I will be mentoring him in many areas of PC repair and networking. I will also be introducing him to Podnutz Daily, Podnutz Pro, and the forums. So, as I have grown with Podnutz and learned many things, I find myself now teaching others, sharing the knowledge of Podnutzians, and trying to increase the followers. Thank you, Steve Cherubino, for building a great network of knowledge. Thank you to all of the show hosts and guests for giving your time and sharing with us listeners. And thank you, Podnutz Forum. That has saved my bacon quite a few times. That's from Jeff. That was the best email ever. Dude.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, it's a great email. Thank you, Jeff. You're welcome for me personally, but I'm sure all the other hosts and guests are saying you're welcome as well. And thanks for acknowledging. I mean, I'm glad the network is helping. And
it does, I think it's funny. I get fan mail from shows from a year and a half ago.
That's great.
Yeah, they'll email and be like, I watched this episode, and they have a lot of questions. And I think that what I think they enjoy is that it's still a personable channel, like we're real people, we're touchable.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. I agree. And it gives me the most joy when I know I helped somebody. So I really appreciate the email. And I know what I even appreciate more is you telling people about Podnutz. So thank you, Jeff. And I will be seeing you at the Ohio Linux Fest next year, or this year, I mean. By the way, if anybody's wondering when the next Podnutz party is going to be, I have decided that we're just going to all meet up at the Ohio Linux Fest, and we're going to have a little Podnutz contingent. That will be the Podnutz party. Plus, there'll be a whole fest going on, and you meet a bunch of other cool people.
Dates.
I think it's in September. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the exact. Definitely come.
I'm coming.
Are you coming, really?
Yes, I'll bring the Call That Girl mobile, and yeah.
Oh, sweet. Definitely.
I'll come down.
Everyone is invited. Come to the Ohio Linux Fest. We're going to party over there like Podnutzians.
That's fun.
Yes. All right. That's pretty much all the stuff I got for this show.
So I hope you guys all learned a little bit from my dramas. I didn't even tell you about the crying fits I had.
Do we want to know about them?
It was bad.
No.
Let me tell you that as an emotional woman going through this kind of stuff, it was funny because I saw my emotions just get racked this year. I've been way better in the past 4 months, but last summer, man, I tell you that some of the business things can hurt, like crying and just upset and when's things going to happen and I can't handle this and it's an emotional roller coaster.
Well, you know what? I don't mean to evaluate your situation, but it seems to me that what you're going through is just the unknown, and you're breaking through it, and it's nerve-wracking. Is that what it is? I mean, because that's something you're being brave. I think it's cool.
Yeah, a lot of times when people I've told a lot of people this that a lot of I'm feeling like I'm getting there, but there's a lot of things that the social media people don't see about me, and people on Podnutz and the TeamSpeak and Technibble, and there's a lot of silent nights where I'm sad, oh my God, am I sure I did the right thing? I have no personal life, and my friends don't live by me, and I did all these risks, and I was like, but now I'm like, things are all different. I'm happier, and things are going well, and I'm like, you had to go through those rough times.
Yeah.
It's I hate to say it, the what is it, the brightest days are after dawn, or I don't know, whatever. And it's kind of I felt that last year.
Wow.
It was a hard summer for me. That's why I thank the TeamSpeak guys, because they helped me through it.
Sweet.
Go TeamSpeak. Those guys were like my cheerleaders all summer. I told you, my bar, it was so nice. So it was just nice to have people in my field to talk to, that were at the same level I was and stuff. So
yeah, and I got to always give those guys credit. I always forget. They started that all on their own. It's Foobar Johnny runs the server. Yeah. They didn't have to put the Podnutz name anywhere near that. They chose to do that, and I, of course, fully appreciate that. But they're running that show, and that's helped a lot of people. And I love sending people over there because there's not too many places like that where you just go in and just ask a lot for live tech advice and meet friends and stuff. I mean, it's just really cool.
Yeah, it was. It still goes on. I think last summer was the big, what appeared to be like everybody was doing it, but it's still a really good resource. I recommend anybody that, especially if you got a mic and a cam and just whatever. It's a different experience than being in a forum.
Right. Oh, totally. You're talking to people.
Yeah. It's all in the Podnutz forums. You can go look for the TeamSpeak settings.
Yeah, if you want to log on to TeamSpeak, Podnutz forums.
Yeah.
Again, if you have not taken advantage of Lisa's book deal, go get them. She just explained how she spent like blood, sweat, and tears writing these things.
Oh, that wasn't even the crying. But yeah, I did that too out of this year. I wrote the second remote book, which I can't believe I did.
Yeah.
And
so
that was an undertaking, but that was a hobby of mine.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book. And here's just a disclaimer: is that if you read the marketing, you'll see that the book itself is like a business manual. It's not a it's not technical. It's a technical manual, but it's more business.
Right.
And it's not for people that already have remote support in place and they got all their stuff ready. They're not going to learn any magic tricks from me. They're probably going to go, I knew a lot of that. And that's why I'm like, yes, read the marketing and you'll understand. It's for people that are like, you know what, I want to add a service line because I don't know how to do it. It's a pretty good how-to.
Oh, it's
step by step.
It's a good disclaimer. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, well, I just want people to be assured that this isn't like for, a regular tech that has a server company that remotes in.
Right.
Not like that. And there's no, but it's a good book though. You learn a lot of the stuff I do to make my remote support successful, prepaid plans and all that. You can do that with remote support.
Yeah. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Go to podnutz.com/deals if you want to save 10% off of that price.
Favorites.
Yes. And Lisa, what else do you want to say to the folks? Last comments, and where can people find you if they want to chat with you or whatever?
Well, let's see. Tonight I'll be in TeamSpeak, and then tomorrow I'm on probably Facebook a little bit, GChat, email. I hired a marketing assistant, Steve.
You did?
Yeah, it's so wonderful.
To do what?
I forgot to tell you guys I hired her. She does all my social media marketing. I have a pretty big campaign, and she works 24 hours a week, and she is busy 24 hours a week.
Wow, really? Doing social media?
Yeah, she does all my newsletters, and she's just in about her 5th or 6th week right now. But she does a really, really good job, and she's a marketing student, and I've got her for a couple of years.
That's awesome.
Oh, man, I tell you, after I started seeing stuff flow, I was like, yes, this is why you hire people to do this stuff, because I don't have to. I deliver her ideas, and she delivers when it's done. And I love it because I can just be at night, just here's an idea, done. And she'll just do it.
Oh, that sounds so good. Good job on that.
It is, yeah. It's kind of like, that's why I want the ops manager, and then I can do that. And maybe I'm like, what is my goal? What is my job going to be, Like Outlook support and business development.
Oh, it's not just sitting in the office with your feet kicked up on the desk?
Oh, you know what I do every day? I have a checkbook in front of me every day. Well, let's see, who can I write a check to now? That's all I do, and I'm not kidding.
That's not fun. No, it sounds like your business is doing really good, and good luck with the expansion. Come back on when you have more stories for us.
Oh, yeah, maybe in 6 months from now I'll have like 20 locations. Woo.
That sounds good.
Never know.
And then when you come back to us, you have to have the dream. I want to know the dream. Yeah,
I think in 6 months the dream is to be doing business development on my yacht.
Nice.
Somewhere else, not in my house.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care, Steve.
All right, Lisa. Hang on. Let me just...
Cool.
I forgot to say this to the people, because we're out of emails. If anybody wants to send us an email, send it to mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us a voicemail, which we haven't gotten in forever, call 7076-PODNUT on a phone, and we will play that. We play every voicemail we have ever gotten since the beginning of time. Or the beginning of Google.
Beginning of time.
Beginning of Google Voice. All right, well, that's going to be it for Podnutz Daily for today. See y'all next time.